Imagine this. You're sailing off the Egyptian coast where the Nile kisses the Mediterranean and the sun is casting gold across the rippling water. Your boat rocks gently. The air is salty. Then your guide points to the sea and says, "Down there lies a city forgotten by time." You lean over the side. You see nothing but water, blue and endless. But under the surface, beneath layers of sand, silt, and seaweed, sleeps a city that was once the gateway to ancient Egypt, a metropolis of wealth, gods, and legends, lost for over 1,200 years, swallowed whole by the sea. This is the story of Thonis-Heracleion, Egypt's Atlantis. Before Alexandria rose to fame, before Cleopatra ruled, there was Thonis-Heracleion. Yes, the city has two names because it was known differently by Egyptians and Greeks. Thonis was what the Egyptians called it. Heracleion was what the Greeks named it, after their hero Heracles, Hercules. They believed this was the place he first set foot in Egypt. But this wasn't just any port city. It was the main entrance to Egypt for all ships coming from the Greek world. If you were a merchant, an ambassador, a sailor, you had to pass through Thonis-Heracleion, and when you did, you'd be awestruck. Imagine standing there 2,000 years ago. The docks are bustling with ships from Athens, Rhodes, Phoenicia. Sailors shout in Greek, Egyptian, Aramaic. The smell of spices, fish, and hot sand fills the air. Towering statues of gods rise above massive temples. There's music in the streets. Golden jewelry glints in the sun. Priests chant in ancient tongues. Merchants count silver coins under canopies. This city wasn't just alive, it radiated power, wealth, mysticism, and then it vanished. Sometime between the 2nd and 8th centuries AD, Thonis-Heracleion disappeared beneath the waves. No warning, no trace, just gone. For centuries, people thought it was a myth, a sailor's tale, an exaggeration in old Greek texts. Ancient historians like Herodotus and Strabo had written about it, but modern scholars dismissed it. There's no proof, they said. It never existed. But fishermen in Egypt told stories of catching nets on strange stone blocks, of statues rising from the sea, of gold glimpsed beneath the water. They knew something slept beneath the waves. They just didn't know what. And then came Franck Goddio. In the 1990s, French marine archaeologist Franck Goddio began to explore Egypt's Abu Qir Bay, just northeast of modern-day Alexandria. He wasn't chasing fairy tales, he was looking for facts, clues, artifacts. He brought sonar equipment, satellite imaging, underwater excavation tools, and more importantly, a gut feeling. And in 2000, it happened. Under 10 meters of murky water, his team found something. Massive blocks of granite, carved columns, coins, jewelry, a stone slab, inscribed in both ancient Egyptian and Greek. It was real. Thonis-Heracleion was real. They had found it. What they uncovered was beyond belief. Entire temples, still standing beneath the sea. Colossal statues of Egyptian gods, some over 16 feet tall. Sphinxes, silently watching from the ocean floor. They even found ceremonial boats, perfectly preserved in the mud. It was as if the city had been frozen in time, caught mid-prayer, mid-trade, mid-life. One of the most spine-tingling discoveries was the Naos of the Decades, a shrine that once stood in the heart of the temple of Amun-Gereb, the chief god of the city. Divers pulled it out piece by piece, feeling like they were touching the breath of gods. They found gold coins from Athens. They found Greek weapons. They found marriage contracts signed in ink. They even discovered a huge stone stele with decrees written in the time of Pharaoh Nectanebo I, confirming the city's name, Thonis to Egyptians, Heracleion to Greeks. Goosebumps yet? Thonis-Heracleion didn't fall to war. It didn't burn. It sank. Scientists believe the ground beneath the city, a soft, waterlogged clay, liquefied due to a series of earthquakes and rising sea levels. It was like the earth turned to jelly beneath their feet. Temples cracked, roads split, buildings tipped, the sea rushed in. Imagine standing in your home as the walls tremble, statues fall, sand boils up from the floor, the sea starts to rise, you grab your children, you run, and you never come back. A whole city, submerged in a single night, or perhaps over a few decades. But the memory, lost for over 1,000 years. Today, the ruins of Thonis-Heracleion lie like a ghost town beneath the Mediterranean. It's a place where gods once walked, where Cleopatra likely visited, where priests whispered sacred names and lovers promised forever beneath moonlight temples. Now, fish swim through the doorways of sunken shrines, coral grows on the shoulders of fallen gods, and silence rules where once there was life. But thanks to Gaudio and his team, the city is speaking again. More than 70 ancient shipwrecks have been found, more than 700 anchors, incredible statues, many now displayed in museums, countless relics still being studied. This isn't just an archaeological site, it's a portal into an ancient world. Thonis-Heracleion wasn't just a port, it was a sacred city. The temple of Amun was central. This is where pharaohs came to receive divine approval. Before a king could rule Egypt, he needed the gods to bless his right. That happened here, in this temple, on this soil. It was also a place of ceremonial unions between Egyptian and Greek culture, a melting pot. You'd hear Greek philosophy debated in the streets, and then see a procession of Egyptian priests pass by, carrying an idol of Isis. This city was a bridge between two great worlds, between humans and gods, between the land and the sea, and then it was gone. Today, archaeologists continue to dive, dig, and discover. Every expedition reveals new wonders, but the city refuses to give up all her secrets. There are still massive sections of Thonis-Heracleion untouched beneath the bay, buried deep under centuries of sediment. And who knows what waits there? A forgotten pharaoh's tomb? A library of scrolls? Another temple? One thing is certain, this story isn't over. Close your eyes for a moment. Picture standing on the deck of a boat above Abu Qir Bay. The sun is hot, the sea is calm. But beneath you, beneath the surface, a lost city sleeps. A city where gods once walked, where lovers danced, where gold changed hands and kings rose and fell. It's all still there, silent, hidden, waiting, and maybe, just maybe, listening. Because places like Thonis-Heracleion don't vanish, they wait for time, for tide, for someone to remember. And now you do. Final thought. Thonis-Heracleion is more than just a city. It's a reminder that nothing is ever truly lost, that the past has a way of reaching through the waves and pulling us close, whispering secrets in the language of stone and sand. If you ever visit Egypt, stand by the shore near Alexandria, look out at the sea, and listen. You just might hear the heartbeat of a city that refused to be forgotten.